Hey guys, Phillips here. Welcome to a brand new DVD Blu-ray Tuesday shopping video today. Today I'm going to have a pretty cool unboxing at the end of this video. Unboxing something that has to do with the movie The Fifth Wave that came to DVD and Blu-ray today. It just came out today, but this is an unboxing that has to do with that movie. So stay tuned for that at the end of this video. Also going to have a couple new DVD and Blu-ray reviews at the end of this video as well. A title from Arrow and some pretty cool other ones. Also going to head to Walmart because there's one thing that I saw someone post a picture of, this movie that I had a part in, which I saw someone post pictures of that I think it might be out in stores today, you know, in Walmart locations. It came out a while ago to buy on Amazon, places like that, but I think today it actually came out in stores. I'm not 100% certain if all locations are going to have it, but we'll go and see as well. So anyway though guys, let's get going and see what we can find today. Into Target we go. Yeah, two of the big things that came out today were Joy, which was actually a pretty good movie. It has like a only a Target kind of one. I think it says includes exclusive Blu-ray DVD combo. I don't know if that's I think that's the only main exclusive to that one, but I guess the other places don't have the DVD in it as well, and the digital copy, something like that. I don't know if the making of maybe is an exclusive as well to here. And one of the other ones that came out today was The Choice, and you know, this got some really mixed reviews, but I actually thought this one was not that bad. Joy though was really good. At some point I'm gonna pick it up. It's $22.99 now, but when it gets cheaper I'm definitely gonna get that one. And this one too, it's definitely, I would say, worth watching. You know, this Nicholas Sparks you know, novel to film, but it wasn't the best movie ever, but I really do think it's worth at least checking out, at least renting in Redbox or so, because I really did kind of like that one. One of the other things that came out today was the big releases was The Fifth Wave. Didn't have that in the front, but this one too, like I said, I'm gonna have an unboxing that has to do with this movie at the end of this video. And also there's like a re-release of Independence Day. This one has like movie cash and includes the extended and theatrical one. I'm pretty sure I have an old release of this from a while back, a couple of years back. I don't know if there's anything different on this one or not, because I don't know if the original one had the theatrical one. It looks like it has an all-new 30-minute documentary on that. I believe that's the main new thing on this one. I don't know if there's anything else different, and I can't remember for sure if the old release had the extended cut or not on it. I'm pretty sure it did, but I cannot remember for certain. This one also came out today as well from Shout Factory, Scream Factory line, Submerged, about this limo that ends up going off the road and people have to kind of find a way to get out of it. That was a pretty cool movie. You know, Stephen C. Miller, who did the Silent Night, Dead Night remake, directed this one, but that one's today as well. Into Big Lots we go. So we'll see if they added any new stuff in here. But this place, like, every so often changes things out, but for a while it ends up being a lot of the same stuff. Like this one, they've had in here forever, this Without a Paddle 2 one. But every so often they update it in here, but for a while it can be a lot of the same stuff. Like this one, I don't know this one, I haven't seen this one here before, Maximum Risk, with like weird ones that you know why they're in here, like Tooth Fairy 2 are always in here. And this one, I don't know, Rebound, Love You Beth Cooper. That was actually a pretty good movie though. I always kind of liked that one, but looks like a lot of the same stuff in here. And like these ones, these are not that great of price anymore for this $8, because I've seen like the whole set for like $25 or something like that. These are like the Mill Creek ones as well, so that's weird there it's that expensive in here, because they're not the old ones, the Sony release ones. This one, I don't know if I ever watched this one, Odd Jobs. This is kind of a weirder one. It's kind of like funny, like how some of the HBO release titles are really hard to get, like the Dr. Jekyll and Mrs. Hyde, and then other HBO release ones are really common and, you know, just like $3 and stuff like that everywhere. And one thing that went out of print that someone told me about, and I just saw, if you guys are looking for stuff, you want to try and find good out of print stuff, you know, the collection of all of the Friday the 13th movies on Blu-ray now selling for like $300 and stuff. It seems like that's what it is. So that must have recently gone out of print. Let me know if you guys know when that went out of print, but it seems to be one of those things that recently happened. Into the Valley Thrift Store we go. So we'll look through here and see if there's anything different. Every so often, you know, I come in here every few weeks and see if they change anything out. It's usually a lot of the same stuff, like real typical kind of stuff, but sometimes they change it and there's some interesting things. This is kind of a funny thing to see in here. The Screaming Dead, that Misty Monday movie, that was actually an okay one. And they always have these in here, you know, the Simple Life ones. And I used to actually watch these when they were on. Like, I remember really liking the first season of this show, and I pretty much watched most of them when they were on. I always kind of liked that. You know, I know it's not really a great show, but one of those ones I used to always like to watch when it was on. But I'll show you when we get out front if there's anything different in here. But like I said, it's usually a lot of the same stuff. Sometimes they mix games up in here. Like, that's probably not a bad price for that Sims Kingdom for $2, but I don't even have that hooked up anymore. But like I said, I'll show you outside if I end up finding anything interesting. I actually found a pretty decent thing in there today for only $2, Martyrs, which sells for like 40 bucks. You know, I have the Blu-ray of that, but this one has an hour-long making of, and I don't think that's on the Blu-ray as far as I remember, because it might be a region B or region 3. I can't remember for certain, and I don't even remember for certain if the one on Blu-ray is the fully uncut one, but this is a really rare one to find in there. And I also got this other movie I had never seen before. It sounded kind of interesting, called Soul Man, and that one like sells for like $6, but they were both only $1.99, but this was a really good find. That's why you got to go in these kind of places, because these are the kind of places where you can find stuff like this. You never know the kind of weird stuff you'll find. This is actually, Martyrs is a really good movie too. Into Walmart we go. Well, their copy of Joy is a little less than here. It's $19.99. This one has, so that wasn't Target, it's like an exclusive one. The difference with the Target one is it has a DVD as well. But that inside look at Joy, that's on all of them. And also, this is all of them as well. Opens up like this. But it seems like the DVD is like, you know, the DVD, Blu-ray, and the digital copy of basically having a DVD of it is the exclusive to the Target edition in there. Like I said, that's $19.99 here, and then they have the Choice as well, and the Fifth Wave here. There's actually a bunch of stuff that came out here today. Emily, which was a pretty cool babysitter movie. I really like this one a lot. It's like this babysitter babysits these kids, and there's something really off about her, and she's acting really inappropriate, and you can tell there's something really odd about this woman, the way she's talking to the kids and everything. This one came out today as well, too, A Haunting in Coolduder. Don't know anything about this one at all, but looks kind of interesting in here. And this one was today as well, Birdman. There's a lot of stuff today. This one looks kind of, I don't know anything about this, but Birdman. And I think this was today, Bill, I think. I think Guns was today. Hostile Border was today. This might have been today. There's a lot of stuff today. This one with the kid from The Visit came out today, Paper Planes. Don't know anything about this one. Looks kind of interesting. I think Jack and the Red Hearts was today. And this final, The Rapture, was today. And Blood Sombrero, I know, was today as well. This looks kind of interesting, this horror movie, but a lot of different stuff today. And they actually do have it in here, Scarred, in store. So if you guys see this, let me know. But I have, you know, my name on the back of this one. Special appearance by Sean C. Phillips. I have a little part in this one. A pretty cool slasher film. Ari Lehman, you know, the first Jason's in this movie. Pretty cool movie, though. If you guys check it out, let me know what you think. But it's pretty cool they have it in here. They also have this one came out today called The Sacrament. And I don't know this one. It's from Revolver Entertainment. There was another movie that came out called this Before the One. But I think there's actually two other movies with this title. But I don't think I've ever seen this one, Sacrament. It says it has Marilyn Burns in it. Looks kind of interesting though. Let me know if you guys have watched this one. This collection thing was here today too, this disaster pack. They're actually putting these out later on Blu-ray. Like Roller Coaster, I think Scream Factory's putting that out. But there's also Airport. I think it's coming to Blu-ray too in a big collection. But kind of a cool set with Earthquake, Airport, Hindenburg, and the Roller Coaster, all like disaster movies from Universal. So that's kind of a cool set though. Into Best Buy we go. So we'll see if there's anything different in here today. This is one of the things, that's cool, they have that in store. This came out today, you know, that Shark, Kansas Women's Prison Massacre. This is a pretty cool movie, you know, Joe Winarski directed this one, but pretty cool news too. I heard he posted on Facebook that they're actually going to be releasing Chopping Mall on Blu-ray. Lionsgate is releasing that, so that's pretty cool. That's finally getting a Blu release, and it sounds like Lionsgate is going to be putting out a lot of their old like horror catalog titles, at least from the sound of it. But otherwise from that in here, see if there's anything else different in here. You know, they had, like I said, Emily came out, and that's only $9. Like I said, that was a pretty cool movie. I thought that was definitely worth checking out, guys. I really like this one. And other than that, you know, like they have the Fifth Wave, and they also have it on here, you know, on 4K. So that's one of those ones that's released on 4K. Like I said earlier, The Choice. Other than that, though, it seems like that's pretty much the main stuff in here today. Well, that's all for this DVD Blu-ray Tuesday shopping video today. I did find those two cool things, you know, at that thrift store, so that was pretty cool. But like I said, now stay tuned for a pretty cool unboxing for a thing that has to do with the Fifth Wave now, and then a couple DVD and Blu-ray reviews. Now, first to the unboxing. Now, this item in the unboxing has to do with the movie Fifth Wave, you know, the Chloe Grace film, The Fifth Wave. And this item has to do with that. It's basically a replica backpack of the backpack that Chloe Grace's character wears in the movie The Fifth Wave. I haven't looked at this yet. You know, I've just pre-cut the thing. So we're going to take a look inside of this. And this is not something you can buy. This is, you know, a promo item, you know, that Sony sent to me. They were like, oh, you know, would you like this to send you this to show in your video? And I was like, yeah, I'd like this. I think it'd be pretty cool. So let's take a look inside and see what this looks like. And there's supposed to be like certain things like inside of the backpack too that are like the stuff you would need, like, you know, survival items and stuff like that. For me, I thought it was a very cool thing. See, it says on here, you know, I think it's from Burton, is the company that makes it, and it has on here the 5th wave available on DVD and Blu-ray, you know, May 3rd. Here's what it looks like. You know, see, this is basically the backpack. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you can actually see on the back cover of this. See, here's the actual backpack that she's wearing, and she actually wears it on the cover as well. And this is, like I said, the replica of that backpack, you know, that she wears. So let's see what's inside of the backpack. Like I said, I heard there's supposed to be things in it. So let's see what's in it. The first thing in here is a 5th wave, and it's like a, I think this is like a medical kit in here. So it's like a medical kit. Yeah, it's a medical kit. It has in here a safety pack that has like a cold pack in there, like bandages, like gauze, bandages. So this is like the kind of thing that she would take with her. You know what I mean? I think that's, to me, I like this kind of stuff. You know, scissors, tweezers kind of things, and then like all kinds of different gauze and bandages and all this kind of stuff like that. A bunch of different band-aids and stuff like that. So if like it was the 5th wave came, you would be able to have all this stuff. And so if there was a 5th wave, I could, you know, take this backpack out. Like I said, the scissor stuff as well. The other thing in here, inside the backpack, is a flint and this is like a striker thing. Like, if I always watch Naked and Afraid, so it's like this is like kind of like what they take out there, you know, like to start fires and stuff like that. So that's kind of cool. I don't think I've actually ever seen one of those in real life. And here, like one of these 5th wave water things. I remember someone used to always bring this to the gym. This thing. This is like, you know, to put the water into, like a water kind of container. Another thing in here. I don't know what this is. This is like some kind of a demo. Oh, LED flashlight. So it's a, yeah. So that's cool. It has a, you know, it's like a 5th wave one. It says 5th wave on there. It's one of those wind up kind of flashlight radio alarm thing. Oh yeah, it actually has like an alarm thing on it. And it has on here, I don't know how you do the flashlight actually works on there. And then somehow you turn it to a radio as well. Don't know how you do the radio function. That's very cool. This really is the kind of stuff you would have if it was like the end of the world kind of stuff you'd take in there, and even has like a cord to it. I guess it would plugs into something to charge or something. I'm not sure. But it really is like the end of the world kit in here. If there's anything else in here. I think that's everything in here. Yeah, that was a look, though, inside this replica backpack of what she wore, you know, in the movie. So that was pretty cool. You know, this is basically, too, to promote, too, what came out today, you know, the Blu-ray of the 5th Wave, which I really like that movie a lot. And now we're going to go into the review portion of the stuff in this. Let me just put these back in the order I had them in. The first one in here from Arrow is the film Dillinger, which is about the bank robber John Dillinger and basically his gang. This is from Arrow Video US, and I had never seen this movie before. Very, very good cast in this movie. Harry Dean Stanton was in this movie. Richard Dreyfuss, a very young Richard Dreyfuss. But I think this was actually right before Jaws, I think. I'm pretty sure. So this is like really early Richard Dreyfuss film. This is basically about John Dillinger and his gang of these guys that are going around basically robbing banks and things like this. And it's this guy who works for the FBI who, you know, John Dillinger's gang basically killed a whole bunch of his men. He's kind of doing anything he can to try and, you know, catch and bring down John Dillinger, but he needs to break a certain type of crime, which makes it so he, you know, the FBI can come in and intervene and take him down. So he's kind of waiting for him to do this. At the same time, too, he's trying to get other people that have connections to John Dillinger and bring them down. And, you know, Richard Dreyfuss' character plays Babyface, and I remember the full name of him, but he's one of these big gangsters that was killing a lot of people. And these are, you know, are all based on true things that happened. You know, they exaggerated some of the things for the movie and stuff like that. But it has on here, you know, brand new 2K transfer on this one. Audio commentary with Stephen Price, the author of Savage Cinema and Cinema Screening Virus. Shooting Dillinger, new interviews on this one, and a newly filmed interview with the composer, which is very, very pretty cool. I feel like this is one, like I said, I had never heard of before, and a pretty cool kind of movie about his life and, you know, the people that he was killing and all the kind of robberies and all that kind of stuff. The next one, this one now is only in red box. I don't know if there's going to be a physical release. I got an actual disc of this. Like I said, I don't know if this will be released down the line to buy or not in the U.S. I know it's not in other countries to buy, but this is basically just the disc that's in the red box machine. This is a movie called Jeruzalem, and it's one of those found footage movies that I really wanted to see. Like I said, there's no physical copy yet. I mean, down the line, maybe there will be. I really don't know for the U.S., but I was glad they sent me one so I at least could see this. But the movie's basically, though, about it's actually all shot through like a Google Glasses kind of thing. It's not I don't think they can't call it Google Glasses, but it's basically that's what it is a Google Glasses. But it does sort of technological stuff that I don't know that it can do. Like it can like facial detect people. I don't know if I've never messed with Google Glasses, so I don't know if it actually can do that. But like if it sees somebody, it can auto detect their face and then find them on Facebook, like random people off the street and all that kind of stuff. It's basically, though, about this girl whose brother recently died, and her father sent her and her friend on this trip to Jerusalem to kind of just get away and get over what has happened, try and have some kind of fun. She ends up going there and meets the guy on this plane that she likes, and he ends up kind of talking to her about the Holy Land there and all these kind of things, and theories and religious types of things and all that kind of stuff. And she ends up basically going with her and her friend and him to Jerusalem. And when they get there, though, odd things kind of happen. It starts off, to me, the movie was the most, I liked it the best, like the very beginning. Like the last like 30 minutes of the movie wasn't as great as the beginning of the movie, but it's basically, though, it has like a biblical kind of thing happening, like the end of the world type thing happens when they're there, and the one guy they meet on the plane is basically weirded out, and there's also kind of people there too who are like in this loony bin. They kind of all go there and have like spiritual awakenings and go nuts and stuff like that. And, you know, they're all thinking that that guy they met on the plane is just having this crazy attack, when, of course, something is coming, and that's really what the movie is. The movie, too, had this kind of feel to me, a little bit of Hostel. And it wasn't at all like Hostel, but just like the feel of them going there and what was happening, for some reason, kind of reminded me of Hostel a little bit. Like I said, the movie was all shot through the Google Glasses type thing. And, you know, I kept on thinking, was it being recorded? Or was it just basically showing what her vision of what she was seeing? That was one thing I was trying to figure out exactly, is if it was supposed to be like it was all recorded, or it was just basically we were seeing through her eyes. It's one of those things, like, you know, don't ask too many questions. I think that's kind of what it was. Don't worry about it. But I was kind of wondering that. But to be 100% honest, I didn't like the last half of the movie that much. I liked it to a degree. It kind of got like Cloverfield-y a little bit, but not the great, like not as cool as Cloverfield at the end. But I did really, really like that first hour of this movie a lot. And it's definitely one I'm going to watch again. If they put out a physical release down the line too, I might even import the one from Germany, because I really did like it. I just didn't love like the end of it. The next one from the Cohen Media Group, this is a movie called Mustang. It's a movie from Turkey, which I saw the trailers for this in theaters and really was interested in seeing this. And it's basically about a group of these sisters whose parents ended up dying, and they get taken in by their grandmother and their grandfather, and they're very, very like strict and have very old-time values and all these kind of things. And it's of course like they come from like the Muslim background, so then like people who are there like kind of don't like what they're doing, because there's a part in the beginning of the movie, the girls are all at the beach with these guys, and they see them messing around with the guys on the beach, and it kind of spreads around to the father, and the father gets really pissed about the whole thing, and then he basically locks down the house. And little by little, it gets worse and worse, and he's trying to plan marriages for these girls and trying to basically arrange marriages, because he's kind of paranoid that they're going to sleep around, and it's this whole crazy. It's one of those movies too. It was kind of like Philomena, when you're watching it and you're like, man, you're like really pissed off for what's like happening to these characters and like what they're going through. And it's like, because like some of this stuff does happen in real life, so it's like you're just really like feeling really bad for these girls, the kind of stuff they're going through, and these arranged marriages and all this stuff about them like trying to train them to be wives and cooking all this food, and basically just to, I don't know, it's a whole other topic, but like it's just one of those kind of movies where you're watching, you're like, man, like the kind of stuff they're going through is just like that Philomena movie. Like there's certain things in that movie like that just were pissing me off. You know what I mean? Like what was going on. I'm sure a lot of people have the same feeling about this because they're really just pissed off about what was happening to these girls. But a very, very well-made movie and really, really good music. It actually has in here too like a download thing, you know, so you can download the score to the movie. The next one. From Warner Archive, and Warner Archive seems to be with all the releases now, the discs seem to be all press discs, so they're not like, you know, burn on demand. They're like burn on demand technically, but the discs seem to all be press discs now, which is pretty cool. And this is the New Adventures of Gilligan's Island, which I always love. Gilligan's Island, one of my favorite shows, and this is one of the animated shows that Filmation did. You know, they also did Gilligan's Planet years later. I think it was them who did it. I don't know if they were the animators behind it or not, but this was basically the animated series of Gilligan's Island, you know, called The New Adventures of Gilligan. They didn't say Gilligan's Island, though. And they couldn't get, like, certain people back. Like, Tina Louise couldn't do it. I think she didn't want to do it. And then the one who did Ginger didn't come back, so they did a different voice. But this is basically, though, kind of like a spin-off of, you know, an animated form of Gilligan's Island, and they have like a monkey character in this as well, because they always, these Filmation things always added like animal characters, like even with the Brady Bunch ones as well. But this is basically, though, like the animated versions of Gilligan's Island and the kind of adventures they go on and all that kind of stuff. I thought it was a fun, I mean, to me, I like anything Gilligan's Island, and I'm like love to have all the stuff, so I thought it was pretty cool that this is now fully released. It also has as a feature on here the original series bumpers. This is one I was just watching now. This is from a company called Second Sight, and has a bunch of new features on here. New interviews with the composer, deleted scenes, outtakes, commentary tracks, tons of features on this one. This is a movie called The Ninth Configuration, which is a very, very strange, different movie. It's from the writer of the Exorcist films. The Exorcist first one, I think he wrote the third one, and directed the third movie. But this is basically, though, about like this mental asylum and this kind of castle, and you know, Stacy Keach is a guy who goes there, who's like a therapist that deal with these people who are like these nuts people who, you know, are the army soldiers and stuff like that, who went crazy, and they're there trying to get them back to normal, and they're allowed to kind of like live out their crazy fantasies and like dress up in these weird outfits, wear all these weird clothes, dress like superheroes, do all kinds of weird crazy stuff. And it's kind of also, you're kind of wondering like who really is all the crazy people, because like the people who are supposed to be kind of in charge of the crazy people, they kind of have their own craziness stuff going on as well. My favorite aspect of this movie, to be honest, was the music. Like the music was amazing, really, really good score in this. And I was listening to it and I was thinking, this music sounds like something else. And then I looked up the composer and did the music for Bless the Beast and the Children, and it kind of had that feel to it. But really, really cool, but like very slow though. It's a very slow movie, you know, dialogue-filled film, but an interesting kind of film. The next one from Screen Media, and this is a movie about Slender Man. It's a, you know, a found footage kind of film called Slender, and it's basically, though, about, you know, these guys who are trying to make a documentary, and the first half of the movie is kind of them trying to figure out how they're going to make a documentary, and it was kind of pretty decent found footage kind of aspect of them filming like in a bar, and their boss is like, stop filming with your camera, stop messing around, filming random people at the bar, and they really don't know what they're going to do their documentary on. Then they end up meeting, the one guy ends up seeing this crazy woman, this train, talking about, oh, this guy with these long fingers, he took my children, they're missing, they're gone, I can't find them, and then I'm never going to get them back. And he's like, she's rambling on, and the guy ends up kind of convincing this woman to tell her story, and it deals with the story of Slender Man who stole the children. And then it kind of becomes a documentary, like filmed as like a professional type documentary with interviews back and forth and editing and pictures and all kinds of stuff, dealing with the documentary, the idea of Slender Man, and kind of experimenting with it and trying to figure out exactly if there's any truth to this, and kind of even doing reenactments of like characters dressing up like Slender Man to kind of like bump up the documentary. It was an interesting, like I said, kind of found footage thing on the whole Slender Man story. And the last one from Wild Eye Releasing, this is a movie that Tony the Dead, Mr. Tony the Dead on YouTube, I remember always was talking about this, saying it was one of his favorite movies. So I really was interested in watching this. And this movie is called Chocolate, Strawberry, Vanilla. And it's like an Ice Cream Man kind of film. And you know me, I love Ice Cream Man films. And this is called, like I said, Chocolate, Strawberry, Vanilla. And it's an Australian film. It's basically about this guy who is an ice cream guy, and he's obsessed with like TV, and it mainly about this one, soap opera type show, and especially this woman on the soap opera, and he's kind of always obsessing about her and dreaming about this woman, and his whole life is about this. He's also, seriously picked on by people in the town. They try and move him on from where he has his ice cream truck. They don't want him there, giving him all kinds of crap and all kinds of issues. But he ends up one day actually seeing the woman from the soap operas that he's obsessed with, comes to his ice cream truck, and then he becomes like fixated on the idea of this woman coming back, wanting to see this woman again, and wanting to tell her, hey, eventually at one point that he loves her. And it kind of just is basically about his whole life, his obsession to this woman, and the weird people that come by the truck and the bullying him, and it kind of builds up and up and up and up into what ends up going on. But it was actually a pretty interesting movie on here. Has on here though the director's commentary, behind the scenes, deleted scenes, and short film. But I kind of like this one. Like I said, I always love the ice cream movies, and it really does take a crazy turn in the movie. But anyway, guys, that's all for the video, doing the reviews and showing you guys the Replica Backpack from the film The Fifth Wave. Anyway, though, guys, thanks again for watching and subscribing, and I'll see you guys later.